rounds of gambling come to a close, the winners are called and moved to the very fancy table in the center that has all the spotlights on it, claiming that this is where the match will be held tomorrow. Given that the games ran a little late, they're not going to continue doing it this evening. Also, to refresh everyone for the game, the house takes everyone's chips. That way, there's no tampering with them over the 24 hours. Or a little bit less than 24 hours, to be honest. And says that it will continue the following day at the same time.
Okay, then.
And everyone is dismissed with a bow, effectively, because you guys were putting on a gambling show for everyone. And the atmosphere goes back to casual conversation amongst everyone as other gambling is going on. You know, it's not just you guys who are playing cards in the entire casino.
Yeah, that'd be crazy, actually.
I sort of glance up towards the balcony section.
You notice as you see the Silvered Novan stand up, look at all four of the winners, or finalists rather, and proceed to walk away and leave. Long flowing gown-like outfit trailing behind her.
I kind of nod and probably head to find Theo.
All right, yeah. You would leave to go find Theo. You ask around a bit, and pretty much explain that you're a personal acquaintance. It doesn't take that long, and you find him in one of the back rooms where he's leaning up against a desk, for lack of a better term, next to some holding cells. That, I mean, they're not like actual prisons or anything, but it's where they put people that are cheating or causing a commotion until actual authorities arrive. And he is flipping a coin, just catching it in the air.
I want your money back. Do you really need me to go to the last round?
He's like, well, how much did you walk away with? I mean, I wasn't able to pay attention the whole time. I apologize.
35.
He kind of counts it in his head. You know, he paid 1,000 for himself and you. He's like, almost double my money. I suppose that's better than nothing. He holds the 3 coins he had that he walked away with. And so he's like, just under double. He's like, but I really want that deck.
You really don't.
And why is that?
Because you'll have to pull from it.
Oh, you see, that's where you're wrong. He's like, I'm just gonna sell my ticket.
You can't sell your ticket, Theo. You're contractually obligated.
I'll sell the contract.
Yeah.
That's
checkmate.
Not how
He's just going to continue to sell things.
Work.
Yeah. Don't tell him how contracts works. He wrote the contracts. That's part of being a security.
He did not write the contract.
He hired the subcontractor who wrote the contract.
He actually wrote a contract stating that he has to write all contracts.
It's like, you know, you said, look, all Deafin look the same to her. It's not like she's going to care which one draws from the deck. And it's not like she's going to let you draw from the deck, so I think we're okay.
And then the random Nephilim that wins, his particular spot is going to be from the Dindu ward, and he's going to literally make a wish that renders him a Kang.
Whoa.
That's,
damn it.
Calling it, that's what's going to happen.
It's like, you understand that with a ticket to draw from the deck of many things, we could be set for life, all right? You could fund whatever you need to do to all the science.
Probably me. I just remembered I'm on.
Yeah, Echo will be fixed. Cool. So yeah, he wants to sell the ticket to deck of many things.
Which he has some sort of way that he will accomplish.
He's security.
His plan is about as well thought out as any plan of red mages from Cathedra. Prison, shenanigans, freedom, profit.
Step 1, win the spot to pull from the deck. Step 2, question marks. Step 3, profit.
Yeah, exactly. It's very clear that that is exactly his plan. He doesn't have the middle.
It's not written on a blackboard, but if it were, that's exactly what it would look like.
This is insane. Just take the money.
Give me one good reason why it's so crazy.
What if you can't sell it? What if you do have to draw from the deck?
He's a hero. People respect men who draw from the deck.
You'll just draw, a very low amount, like 7.
That's some wind. All right.
Well, I've been gaming outside lately.
Yeah. I mean, I just game in my car.
Just going down the road.
I set.
What are we, Earl now?
Yeah.
There may be gaming locations that you all prefer, but personally, I prefer the air.
Mark, it's definitely you.
Landmaster.
I don't know if it's just your breathing. Sounds like wind's hitting your mic.
You're a fan. No, that was definitely different than before.
Actually, better.
Fuck you.
Yeah. That was less bothersome.
It seems to be gone now.
Cool.
Nice meme, Pat.
No
I
ticket.
remembered
eh?
I saw them at work. Emailed them to myself so that I might show them to you later.
United memes are pretty hot right now. I expect a market crash soon.
Yeah, it's gonna blow up, kind of like Rick and Morty sauce memes.
Astronaut memes, though, those are going strong.
Yeah.
So if you want to try to convince him not to sell the deck, you're gonna need to roll an influence check for diplomacy, because he definitely wants that. And if you're trying to get out of it, you got to change his mind. And you've presented your in character arguments, but you need to back that up with a roll.
Not incredibly well to be 21.
21. All right, give me 1 second. $21. All right, let's see.
I could also lose all of the money and the deck.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah, but he doesn't expect you to.
Yes, I know, but that's still a thing I say. Maybe a bit more threatening than it appears.
Maybe I lose. Do you think of that?
It actually will be enough to convince him, but barely. You're like, what if I lose? And that's when he starts thinking about it. He's like, ooh, there actually is some tough competition. I mean, I think Eric just got lucky, but
Rude.
Vivana, she's
That
up
no
to
name
something.
got lucky.
I will point out that. Am I here for this? Is this occurring like in the casino at a place that I would?
No, it's in like a back room.
My character yells from the fucking back. You hear some man you don't know screaming out to you. But you can't let the Star Witch get the fucking thing. You need to participate, if only to prevent this.
Pad's voice echoes. Now isn't the time to use that.
He's like, so
At least now you're thinking with some sense.
he sighs. He's like, I guess tomorrow, just play a hand or two, and then drop out, and I'll take the money.
I'm going to have to talk to her to see if she'll even let me drop.
That's a good point. Yeah, she's probably not going to let you do that. Not after you just show up. And he goes like, she's probably upstairs though. I mean, you should probably go ahead and get it over with. I mean, it's only going to be worse the longer you wait.
Hmm. I kind of gesture for him to lead the way. And I'd have that conversation that we had previously.
No, absolutely. Trying to think about what else. Okay, yeah. So, what else is other people doing? So Vera goes away, talks to Theo, and then she disappears for like an hour or so. The rest of you guys, what do you do immediately after the game ends?
Have I already had a chance to recruit Oozman into the life of
This would be your chance to do it because I assume you stayed to watch the whole gambling, and he was knocked out pretty early, all things considered.
Yeah.
So you can definitely try to chase him down now.
All right. Yeah, I will run him down to basically help him out, but also try and assist with my own like criminal enterprises. Because why not do both?
The
I
Oozman is,
assume
oh
I run him
no,
down pretty easily.
I have lost all of my monies.
So you do eventually find him. He's outside, sitting at the curb, effectively, of this large, busy strip-like street, and he's sitting there. His clothing's been a little dirtied up. He obviously has spilled something on him. He's started drinking, but he's not incredibly drunk yet. Actually, no, he might be. They're ooze people. They metabolize things incredibly quickly. And you can tell that his face and his hands are more moist than the rest of him. He's obviously been crying.
They're sort of merging into each other. It's unsettling.
Yeah.
I will walk over, reach over to whatever he's drinking, and slide it away from him. And then when he presumably starts to get mad at that, I will give him a fairly stern look.
He does look at you in a certain look, and he's just like, "What do you want?"
And I say, someone who just lost the majority of their money, and I'm guessing more than just that, considering,
Multiple life savings, if I recall.
considering that I would believe it's difficult for you to amass that wealth by yourself. Shouldn't immediately then go and spend what little wealth they have remaining on what's the word I'm looking for? Like things that aren't necessary. Comfort?
Pleasantries.
No, pleasantries is a good word, but not exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, but we'll go with pleasantries.
Luxuries?
Yes, but what little money they have remaining on pleasantries.
He looks. He's like, "Listen," and he kind of slurs his words a little bit. He's like, "You don't know what I've been through. I deserve this." And he points to the drink that he realizes that he's not really holding straight up, so he spilt a little bit of it.
All right. I'll say, I was hoping that I might be able to work with you. What is the name of the ooze race?
Altian.
And Altian would serve my business very well, and I think that we could actually make some decent money together. But I didn't expect to encounter a drunk, because if you were naive about your prospects in this game, that would be one thing, but a lack of character is another. And I say, if you have, if you manage to sober yourself up and actually give a shit about fixing this situation, look me up, and I'll basically I'll write on a napkin and stuff what port we're staying at, etc. And I'll say I won't be there much longer.
He takes the napkin and kind of pockets it away. You get the feeling that in his current state of mind, he's a little too intoxicated to really, like, he understands what you're saying, but he's not in the right frame of mind to communicate about it right now.
Yeah.
But he does take it and nods a little in agreement.
Okay. Well, That's the most I can do there, though I might end up not working with the guy if he's like made of vices. Um, you don't want to trust that kind of guy to be part of your crime empire. Yeah, I will leave and head back to where everyone else was gathering. While I sit down at the table, basically waiting for the next round to begin, I'll just in my free time be drafting up ideas on how I might best fuck over various businesses. Just preemptively, effectively drafting up contracts and things like that.
No, absolutely.
So I will let you know, just so we can move on back to the actual gambling tournament, what my most recent incarnation of my fuck up dragons plan is.
Isn't it the currency thing?
Well, the currency thing is a part of it, yes.
If I remember right, there were also drugs involved or something.
Well, the drugs are just to make money. They don't fuck up dragons. Well, I also want to get them addicted to dragons if
Yeah, that's
possible.
kind of what I figured your plan was.
Yeah, well, I have too many plans. I'm like
Plans
Jeff level
within
of plans
plans
right
at this
now.
point.
Yeah, I'm approaching Jeff levels of plans right now, but trying not to take up too much in-game time doing it is the difference.
Soon his plans will have plans.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So the general idea that I'm working with is I had the goblin group that I befriended earlier, remember? And I showed them how they could funnel a lot of their winnings out of their casino and keep it for themselves rather than splitting it with the dragons.
Yeah.
All right. What I would like to do is effectively come up with a way, like some sort of offshore account type deal. Like, okay, we need to find a particular environment where certain legal loopholes are not obvious but can be exploited. In that environment, I want them to set up a branch casino, more or less. We'll fake how successful they are, start putting more money into the dragons, not less, and fake how successful they are until they're willing to open up a branch casino. Once the branch casino opens up in this second location where the laws are slightly different and more where the laws are slightly different and more exploitable, what I want to do is basically have them the law that I particularly want to exploit, and I don't know because we're not going to invent the entire legal system of every different culture and every different planet, but I imagine I can find one of them that would allow this if I wrote the contracts just right in order to fuck people. Go full Enron. And basically embezzle all the money out of my own company using legal loopholes.
Get the dragons to invest and embezzle it.
Yeah, embezzle all of the money out and then leave them with a company that's in massive debt and causes not them to go bankrupt because they have like tons of money, but basically fucks them up royally, and do that at the exact same time that I reveal that they're giving away fake currency and whatnot.
Multiple level plans.
Yeah, hit them by a bunch of different things at a bunch of different times. So I would be writing up how the goblins can do this because I'll have my book of interstellar law, going over different planets looking for this particular law that I can exploit.
Okay.
And then once I've found whatever planet that is that I can Enron people on, I will convince them to branch into that, basically laying out my plan.
Cool. I like it. It's a good plan.
Right.
I'm going to get back to you in a minute. There's someone that's going to come up with you. What about anyone else? What do they do after the gambling tournament is over?
For me, I'd probably just take my little receipt, whatever they give to come back tomorrow, and be like, all right, I'm getting out of this place because I don't want to wind up losing money.
You don't want to gamble more?
Yeah, I don't. I've had my fill for the day.
Gambling, I'm out.
Yeah.
All right, so you head back to the ship, I take it?
Yeah.
What is the captain doing?
The captain isn't there anymore.
Is she drinking her sorrows away back on the ship?
Yes.
Because that is what I'm going to be doing then.
When you both, Mako, what about you? Are you heading back to the ship as well?
Yeah, I'd probably eventually roam back to
Are
the ship.
you also going to bang a drow?
No? Am
I mean, she is. Do you have a job?
That's a good point.
Yeah, are you going? That's what I'm asking. Are you going back to the ship tonight?
No, I need to
Alright.
find a new place to crash for the night. I'll go back in the morning.
Cool.
Which boys?
In that case, I will get back to you in a little bit as well. So, for those that go back to the ship, actually, let me do Pat because I assume he'd be leaving with the group for the most
Yeah.
part, and would get interrupted with that. As the group goes to leave, a male in the van, Solar, he's got kind of a light green-esque skin, kind of like Earth Sun energy. He's like Mr. Starman, and he says it with a little bit of a sarcastic tone.
I'll look up and I'll say, yes, how may I help you?
It's like it was easier to find you than I thought it would be. The patron of this establishment would actually like to speak with you.
I'll smile and say, as I would like to speak with them. I believe that I have a number of business proposals which might be very lucrative for them, but he goes, I'm curious as to why they felt they needed to speak with me. Well, it seems my reputation precedes me, and I'll get up, I'll look to the rest of the party, and I'll say, it seems I'm going to be indisposed. Quick glance, is Jess here?
No, not currently.
Damn. Next best pick, Ovald, aka Solaire. And I'll say, give me just one moment. I'll speak with my associates and be right with you.
Am I
Take
still
your-
there? Or did I...
Yeah, this would be happening.
I
as
do
you
not
left.
actually return to the ship at all, so.
Okay.
So is Solaire there?
Everyone should be there except for Vera. This is on your way out.
Okay. I will look over at Solaire and I say, it seems I'm needed for a business proposal. And he goes, shouldn't be too terribly different, though it may, though given the nature of what, given the nature of, what's the best for the
Love.
business we're dealing with here, given the nature of the business we're dealing with here, it may wind up fairly similar to your last dealings with your father. I was wondering if you might be able to lend me your assistance.
I mean, this is suspect. Fruits never asks for my assistance.
I've also
But-
implied that it might be similar to the last time you dealt with your father.
But
Are
And
you
I
saying
could,
this in earshot of the guy?
yeah, I said, well,
Oh.
he doesn't know who Solaire is. Hopefully, he doesn't
No.
know like the secret.
No,
but
I was
basically,
reading it.
I'll
He's
make
like,
a roll to
actually,
pass secret messages.
Mr. Starman, Lady Usilica would like to speak with you in private.
I look over and I say, well, that's fully understandable. I'll have my man wait outside the door if necessary, but I would like to at least speak with him after the meeting so that we might better, so when I still have everything fresh in my mind.
That should be acceptable.
And he goes, he assists me in a number of our contractual deals. And I'll look over and I'll say, Solaire, basically saying, please come with. And again, I will make a roll to pass hidden messages that these people might want to murder me. And I really could use your help on this one.
F.
Yeah.
Bluff
Fucking-
check versus sense motive.
Yeah, I'm going to roll to pass hidden messages. Luckily, I'm amazing at that.
It's also going to be
31.
super easy. You get what he means because he's like, last time you met with your father, you're like, oh.
Oh. Right.
This may be a similar situation, and so I could use your assistance in whatever contractual information comes up.
Of course, my friend. I would never be so remiss as to fail to join you, partner.
I'll nod, and I'll say,
I mean,
this means
as
more than you think.
Fellow Sun Elves. I mean,
Yeah.
Jess,
And,
where did you go after your conversation? Not with Theo, the other one.
Back with Theo.
Okay.
Alright.
Cool. So you would follow this man And he would take you to an elevator that would take you higher up into the more private floors of the casino, past operations and security, into what seems to be almost like a penthouse type suite of the casino.
I will return Pat's bangle on the walk back.
Oh, excellent.
Good job. And the elevator opens up into what seems to be a waiting room type secretary's office, in which no one else is in. It looks like this is where he would normally be, and he was sent to fetch you.
Ah, okay.
He's like, your companion can wait out here. I hope that it is to your desired levels of comfort. And there's lots of really comfortable chairs. There's like a little fountain. There's some snacks and things. Like, they keep it well stocked at all times.
This should be fine.
And
I'll nod and I'll say, wait here for a moment, Solaire. I'll go speak with the patron personally. I'll call out if I need you.
Of course.
Again, the implication if they're
Please.
trying to kill me.
and the Nevaeh brings you past these large double doors into the actual apartment type penthouse room. In which case you see the Nevaeh from earlier, the one that was sitting on top of the balcony overwatching the games. But now you get a much better look at her. She is definitely past her young prime, but is no less attractive for her species. Her scales, as mentioned before, are silver but shine when the light hits them in almost a rainbow sheen.
Yeah.
Incredibly
So
fancy
they're-
in terms of the way she looks and is
They're
dressed.
platinum-esque, but they shine like a star.
Yes.
Go on.
And she speaks up in a fairly fair voice, and is like, "Oh yes, Mr. Starman or Faritis, however you would wish to be called. Please have a seat."
And I say, I like to get to know the people I have business dealings with. If you have need of my services, Faritis will do just fine. And I say, and you? And as I sit down,
Usilica.
I'll nod, and I'll say, your reputation preceded you, but it's always best to have someone introduce themselves. And I say, what is it that I can assist you with? And can you spell that name for me?
Yeah. 1 second. I'm just gonna make sure I have it spelled right. Campaign overview.
I've got it.
Usilika.
Usilika. All right.
She crosses her legs. It's like, first, before we begin, are you thirsty, hungry, anything that you would like to make your stay here more comfortable?
I'll smile and I say, no, that won't be necessary. I was recently watching the card games down below. Quite an interesting match. And I had a number of friends participate, some of which will be in the final round. And naturally, I wanted to get a view up close, and they offered refreshments complimentary, which I took part in. So that shouldn't be any issue. I would like to get back with them and discuss strategy for tomorrow, though. I don't mean to cut you off, but if we could get down to business, that would be preferable.
No, absolutely. And as much strategy as you can work with them or work out with them would actually benefit me. Though that is not the nature of the business here. She reaches into like a bowl next to her and pulls out one of like the energy crystal gems that you've seen Vera eat, and she kind of, sucks the energy out of it.
Is it sucks with 2 C's?
Yes.
That's important.
Okay.
Before pulling out what seems to be a folder and passing it over to you, full of papers.
Okay. I will look at the papers curiously, open the folder up, and see what I see.
It's the contract that you wrote for Pisias.
Ah, yes. I'll look at it and I'll say, yes. We were recently contracted to him, though I'm curious how you got a copy.
Make a perception check, or your craft contract check. Either one, doesn't matter, because
Craft
you had
contract will be better.
yeah.
Let me. God damn. My life is miserable. Craft. Contracts plus 17. $36.
You recognize it right away because there's not many of these contracts in existence, and there's only one with the particular details in this one. This is the one that was specifically revised for Vera to be able to represent herself outside of you representing everyone on the ship.
I'll nod and I'll say, interesting that you have this particular contract. There was a number of iterations it went through, and the fact that you have this one tells me a bit more about how you might have acquired it. And I will make a mental note to not be okay with Vera. This is not the kind of shit that enemies of the dragon need to find out. And I'll say, but specifically, why did this interest you?
Well, you see, she kind of smiles a little bit slyly. It's like, well, you see, my daughter had some concerns with it and wanted me to look it over. Frankly, I was very impressed by your work.
I'll smile and I'll say, I goes, I'm glad you found it impressive. Though, do I catch the subtle meaning that Vera is her daughter?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll actually get thrown off my game for a second and like stutter, be like, and then I'll recollect myself and say,
Don't become my dad, Pat.
yeah, I will.
You can't
I will
stop
not-
him.
I will not become your dad.
When you were mentioning
can-
romancing her earlier, I was like, no.
Vera, I'd like you to meet your new.
mother.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'd like
no
you to meet
Add
your
her
new
to the
father.
waifu chart.
Fruits.
Yeah, I'll find a picture and I will add her to
Yeah.
the waifu chart.
No!
Yes.
Your full name is now Vera Starman.
Yeah.
No.
Vera, go to your room, young lady.
The two waifus I have to add to the chart is the Star Witch and Vera's mother.
So, I will.
You get the
As
hint
a-
though. When she says that she's impressed with your work, it's sincere. She's not being sarcastic with that.
I'll nod and I'll say, I'm glad that you found it to your liking. I actually had a number of business proposals, and if you're impressed with what you've seen so far, I think I could do much better for you if I had the opportunity. And I'm hesitant to bring up I'll say, well, I work for Posias. I find him a bit of an overbearing boss, and I'm looking to, within the realm of my contract, diversify.
She laughs and is like, honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed that you did not compete in the gambling tournament. You're very good at bluffing and hiding your cards.
I'll
However, I do know when they should all be put on the table. This contract, it's good, definitely, and suits the needs of your arrangement, I'm sure, but it does seem to have a few strange wordings, like you're trying to hide something from your employer. Now, the details, I frankly don't give a damn about. However, I will be frank, I am in no love with the draconic trade royalty.
Oh, she just said the magic word. Waifu trade. Here we go.
Yeah. And the waifu train has left the station. I'll lean in and I don't think I could physically keep my excitement out of my voice, and I'm like, do tell.
They've been trying to steal my business for decades now, perhaps longer, and I fear that perhaps one day it'll land in their hands, mostly due to my stubborn daughter's insistence to not supply an heir.
And I will narrow my eyes and like be big to pull off like 1,000-yard stare. And I'll be like, and once they have your empire, they'll destroy it, turning it into a mockery of what it was.
And she's like, a draconic heir.
And I nod and I'll say, understandable. The keeping one's family strong, producing a legacy that will last on into the generations after you is very important. It's something I can wholeheartedly, empathize with.
Elven waifus only, please.
And she looked just like, and while I'm not quite sure Pasias himself is trying to garner my company, I do know some of his close business partners and allies are.
I'll nod. And you're going.
And she goes, and any information you could supply on him would be vastly rewarded. And
I'll smile and I say, there's quite a bit I can tell you about Pasias. However, I'll need to word it just as carefully as this contract, as I do not want to violate said contract, which magically binds me, as you understand.
oh no, I'm quite familiar with such contracts. It's what we use for the deck.
And I'll nod and I'll say, and I'll actually kind of laugh at that, and I'll say, well, I know a friend who's hoping he might find some loopholes in that contract.
He will be sorely disappointed.
And I say, but have you considered he might sell the contract? And
No, think
I'll
about it.
say-
You're like, I have a Geesh, right? I'm on Geesh contract, but I make a new contract that states that they agreed to take over all responsibility for the
You're
contract.
literally subletting of the geese. See ya.
Yeah.
The subletting
You're
equivalent of
subcontracting
geese.
out. I hired a subcontractor to pull from the deck of many things.
in my place.
Anyway, so yeah, I'll say, but that's not my place to go into at the moment. What is interesting is your proposal, and I'll say, I'm assuming I can tell that she's telling the truth.
Yeah, from what you can tell, you can roll an intuition if you want, but at face value, you don't think she's trying to be too
Okay.
incredibly coy with you.
I'm actually not great at intuition, but I'll try.
She's
Better
holding
at
her
lying to
cards
people
close to
than
her
knowing
chest
when I'm
too.
being lied to. 23.
23. You get the idea that as she said, she's putting all of her cards on the table. She's flipping them, so she's being honest with her intentions, but she's not giving away any information that could really criminalize her or anything.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I don't like the draconic trade royalty, but they already know that. You can't use this against me, really.
I'll nod and I'll say, I would be lying if I said I wasn't very intrigued by your deal, but I'm hesitant to accept it just yet, for the very reasons that I did not participate in your tournament. While it would be interesting and it would inflate my ego, it's oftentimes not best to advertise one's ability to lie to the world. And
in essence, it is one of the greatest lies.
yeah. So basically, I didn't want to join the tournament because I didn't want to advertise to everyone, hey, I'm a liar and I'm really good at it. I'm hesitant to sign on just yet, but if she has some sort of deal she'd like me to become a part of, I'd be happy to look over those contracts. Additionally, I've been writing up similar work, and since I had the goblin contracts on hand, I'll pass them over and basically say, if you could look over this, tell me what you think. This obviously not all of the lies are applicable here. Laws, that is, Freudian slip. And not all of the laws in this contract are applicable in your scenario. This was mostly to help someone who's already suffering under the thumb of the Draconic Empire. But I think that you'll find it an interesting starting point. And I will begin to go over what I intend as my plan. The one that I just explained to you. The general, so I won't bother going into it twice, but the idea that I'm working with these guys, helping them to funnel more and more of their money away from the Draconic Empire for a cut of it. And as the money gets funneled away from the Draconic Empire, they're going to, since what they know is gambling, they could start a better deal with you, which I could broker between the two parties. And at the same time, if my plan comes to full fruition, we'd fuck over the Draconic Empire super hard.
Yeah.
And I will lay out my general concept minus the coin forgery, because I don't want to promise something I might not be able to do,
Yeah.
because I haven't
Um,
actually started that to figure out how I would do
She
it.
looks over the contract. She's like, "This is very similar to something I would write up. In fact, I would say that you're almost at my level of deviousness."
I'll
And
Smile
she,
and I say, well, I did only have a couple days.
and she actually seems to be taken aback by that, like the actual like surprise that you wrote this up in such a short period of time. Effectively, she's higher level than you, but meets the same skill checks. So
Yeah.
you're like, when I'm your level, I will be so much better at it than you. It's not even
Yeah.
crazy. And she's like, this is exactly what I was hoping for. You see, I don't have the position to do what you do, to go to different businesses, to undermine the royalty wherever possible. I am stuck here and I have to do things within the limelight.
One of the good things about being a middleman and peon, depending on how the different members of the Draconic royalty view me, is
Being
that
in
they
their
also
name.
don't usually pay me like the courtesy of a second look. Whereas you, I imagine, they have quite a bit of resources and attention focused on.
That is correct. So frankly, what I would like for you to do is to continue doing what you do, but under my employ.
I will smile and say, I think that we could accomplish quite a bit together. And with any knowledge that you might be able to provide me, I think that this could be something very lucrative indeed. And basically, if she knows other people like the Goblin, who she views as opponents but not willing ones, we could draft up similar contracts so that when the bankruptcy plan hits, it hits them much, much harder.
So effectively, to give the short out of character version, she wants to hire you on as effectively under her employ to do what you already do, but because she's wealthy, she can give you all the resources you need to do it, but only when it would benefit her to do so. Because not necessarily that she likes to fuck up dragons too, but she's not as vengeful as you are. It's more she's doing it from a competitor sense, not I want to just fuck up the government type
I'll
thing.
say when this is basically, I'll let her know, but I'll agree that this sounds like a really good plan. I would more than happy to be funded by someone as well off as her to do what I'm already doing, because it would also help me do it much better. And with her resources besides actual funding, like basically what she knows about the Draconic Empire already, because I'm assuming she's already pretty well versed in how to fuck them over. I could also cut out a lot of the I think this might be helpful. A lot of the middle steps and go straight to things that would hit them a lot harder.
Yeah. Also, since she has a lot of contacts, she can just go here, talk to these guys. Your job is to go and talk and work on this company, and she gives you the information to go and do it, which cuts out a lot of your looking for information steps. She does explain that she doesn't have time to write up a proper contract because she understands that type of thing is important to you right at the moment, because frankly she was only handed the contract that Vera gave her moments ago.
Okay. I'll smile and say, well, I'll write something up when I have the free time, and we'll speak on this matter further. And it's clear the level of excitement I have is bordering on I'm basically breaking character. It's just obviously a big deal to me, because I don't think my character could hide the fact that this is such a big deal to them.
Pat's over there desperately trying to conceal his boner.
Yeah.
Please don't become my dad.
And so
you have to make Vera have 3 dads.
Yeah.
Jess, I don't think you understand. Pat is only married to the concept of screwing over dragons, not screwing dragons.
Well, but my mom doesn't really give a fuck anyways. If that's what it would take to get the upper hand and fuck over her competitors, she'd be okay with that.
All I have to do is fuck an elf.
Yeah, the great thing is, that's not what it takes at all. What it takes is screwing over the other dragons. Yeah. That's my fetish.
It's really complicated. There's not many pics of it on the internet, but
His
it's there.
boner is really complicated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Draw me like one of your dragons getting screwed by the corporate hand.
What?
God damn it.
You heard me.
So yeah, it's not the simplest thing to understand. And I will what you got? I will thank her for her time and yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else I need to resolve before leaving.
Nope. She does state that she should also have a contract drawn up after the end of the tournament. It's just that she's busy with deck of many things stuff right now.
Before I leave, and I say, I don't know if you get any material resources from what's Guild World called? Besides the
Vinkara.
world,
Ravnica.
Vinkara.
Vinkara. So yeah, I'll say I don't suppose you get any resources from Vinkaran and what's that got?
Merchants.
Factories. I'm trying to think of like a better way to say factories.
Facilities?
Yeah, from
Company?
Guilds.
yeah,
Guild?
guilds. Guilds is probably a better way to put it because I don't think factory is a term they would use in setting. And I say I don't suppose you get any particular materials from Ninkaran factories, particularly, and I will go through my pockets and stuff like that, and I'll pull out the coin and basically like beep beep activate the coin and pull up the forum, bring up my forum post about eco-terrorism, and point out the particular factories that I had wanted to target, and I say any of these.
She goes to look over them. It's like, not that I believe, though, like most guild politics, you can be 4 guilds deep before you realize you're buying from somebody that you'd rather not be buying from. I don't believe it would interrupt any of my operations.
I'll nod, and they'll say, excellent. I would hate to sour our businesses so soon. And I will pocket the coin again and say, well then, I look forward to speaking with you shortly. And unless you had any other matters you wanted to attend to?
She's like, no, not at the moment. And she kind of calls to bring the secretary back in and explains, give him a way to communicate with us should the need arise. And he kind of nods and goes into his desk and pulls out
Two-way communication? At distance?
Money.
at this
Nani?
and hands you a poker chip.
I'll smile and say, check it for numbers.
There are no numbers on it. It is a house chip. It looks like the chips that they use elsewhere. You can try to detect magic later if you want to find specific. But she says that this is fairly standard issue that we give to our dealers, and they can communicate with those directly. This one can communicate directly with me.
All right. I'll smile and say, excellent. I'll be in touch once I have a chance to look over any of the information you send my way. Beyond that, I'll begin working on a preliminary contract, standard boilerplate information, and we can resolve to make it more specific to our individual needs from there. There is one final request I have. If you do end up taking over some of the businesses from the Draconic Empire, I would like to say that from the beginning, before we go any further, there is at least one business I would like to request, and I'll make the request at the time of my, basically at the time of acquisition. I would request basically one business be transferred fully to my name and be completely unconnected from any contractual work we have here. Should you acquire a particular business I want, I'll make specifications that it won't be worth more than a certain amount that is unreasonable. And if it should approach that amount, I will pay the difference. Should it exceed the amount we've contractually agreed on, that I can't request a business with a net worth above X.
Yeah.
If the business I select is above X, I will pay the difference. I asked.
Oh, good.
And then I would basically explain away via bluff in character that I want it more or less as a trophy for having beaten them. Not that, I would not necessarily. Again, that's why I don't really care too much about its net worth, unless whatever the mood takes me when I do select it. If it does happen to have a high net worth, I would pay the difference. But the reason I say I'm willing to accept one with a low net worth
It's not about the money; it's about the trophy.
Yeah, it's about the trophy, which I'm trying to basically say as a disguise to there is a business I care about. I don't want to imply to them there's one that they could hold to effectively.
No, I understand.
You
She states that it sounds fair, but the details of which would have to be worked out with the contract.
Absolutely. I'm just letting them know ahead of time. So if it was a problem, we could, go our separate ways here without me having to put in the work. But since it's not a problem, you write up a boilerplate, I'll write up a boilerplate, we'll compare and do lunch.
She nods and dismisses you.
Excellent. I will head out the door, smiling ear to ear, and say, Solaire, you're still here. I'm sorry to have kept you for no reason. And he goes, I'll say, in fact, it went so well. I'm feeling like a night on the town, something to celebrate. He goes, do you want to head back to the ship so soon?
I got nothing better to do.
Please.
Please.
And I'll say, well then, follow me. We'll find something interesting to do on this planet. He goes, surely a group of people devoted to vices must have something to keep us entertained. And we'll hit the town and
This seems
spend it
stupid. I'm in.
bar hopping and stuff.
Yeah. On your way out of the casino, you run into Theo and Vera, who are also on their way out.
Excellent. And I'll smile and say, Vera, I just met your mother, such an enchanting young woman.
My
Panic?
eyes just kind of get wide, and there's a immense sense of panic.
Yeah,
Panic.
Your mother. Panic. Work.
and I'll say, such an enchanting young woman. I believe, she found my contractual work very interesting. And I'll say, I thank you greatly for introducing us as business partners. This will offer me numerous opportunities I would not have dreamed I would have. And if you ever need any favor, simply ask it. And if it is within my power, I will do it for you. You have no idea how important this was to me. And I say, I was about to take Solaire here out to celebrate, if you'd care to join us. I'm sure that there's something in this town that is sufficiently decadent as to justify my mood. And I'll look over at, what is the name of her contract selling friend?
Theo?
Theo. I'll look over at Theo and I say, and having a local would be definitely helpful. I'm sure you're more than familiar with what the do's and don'ts of the area, what places are worth our time.
He laughs and kind of like puts his hand on your shoulder. He's like, I've never been one to turn down a free night out, and I will take you to the best places that we have to offer.
I'll smile and I say, excellent. And I will look over.
I kind of give Theo a look like, what?
Yeah, and I'll look over at Vera and say, that's the 2 down, 1 to go. Would you care to join us?
Vera's got those faces of increasing worry.
Like they are faces of increasing worry. She kind of stutters a little and it's like, sure.
And
I'll
I'll
go.
nod and I'll say, excellent. And let's
shooting a
make this,
glare at Theo.
yeah, let's make this something worth remembering, and we will hit out bar hopping the most expensive places. We'll go to Ghost Bar and all the other stuff. This time, an actual bar for ghosts.
It wasn't before.
Fascinating.
Yeah, so you guys go out and have a night on the town, and it is wild. It's any more wild, and it would be the plot of the Hangover movies. But it's not quite that wild.
Yeah. I will remove money from my character sheet as appropriate for the night. I will remove 600 gold, 670 gold.
Goddamn.
That's a lot of gold.
Yeah,
I spend because that's divided by 4 people because I'm paying for other people. So
I am very concerned. I'm not sure what my mother said to you to make you so
Yeah.
happy. What on earth fucking went down? It's
Yeah.
concerning to me.
I drop
Deeply
100.
Fuck
concerning.
dragons, am I right?
Look, don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
Yeah, I spend 167 gold per person.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
That gets you some really, really good alcohol. Gets you in some really good shows, and probably gets you some good strippers. And yeah, it's fucking great. It's a good night.
Yeah. Fun times had by all.
Eric goes back to the ship. In which case you would find the captain drinking Mako's liquor.
As is her right.
She's like, I knew he wouldn't come back. He never comes back. I've devised the system.
And she's pretty shit faced.
She did fire him.
Mako wasn't in the wrong.
Only for the
not coming
night.
back.
Yeah, he's not on the crew for at least 24 hours. I can drink his out liquor. It's fine. Yeah. So that's that. I mean, you can avoid her if you want, but that's what she's doing.
Like, how drunk does she look?
Pretty drunk, but she holds it well. She's a not pirate, she's a sailor and drinks often. So even though she's drunk, she's not like slurring her words to the point where you can't understand her, and it's not to the point where she's falling over.
Well, I
You
more
know,
mean, has it brought some
like
of
how
her
easy
anger
she is?
problems to the forefront or something? Like, I'm
like
sure she's pretty pissed.
all started
She's
when I was a
actually
wee lad.
pretty jolly drunk. Like, she's complaining about what happened, but she's not infuriated. She's a pretty happy drunk, all things considered.
Oh, okay, then yeah, I wouldn't avoid her. Is she like just in the mess hall or whatever?
Yeah, that's where she normally hangs out.
Then
It's
yeah,
her
I'd probably
office.
just go there and also like have a drink just to kind of relax my nerves after oh god, I might lose all my money. Holy shit, I won.
She's just like, Eric, lighten up. Have more to drink. It's like, you've made a lot of money. You might get more.
I don't know. I'm thinking
You gotta
I've
take off the edge.
You might get my money back from that witch.
yeah.
I mean,
And
bitch.
it's like back from that witch, the weather witch.
Oh.
You might
like
also get
Mako.
Mako's money and give it to me.
I don't know. I was kind of thinking of withdrawing. I've already made almost
she
4
looks-
times my input, so I'm coming out like
she
a
looks
bandit.
so disappointed and like leans up against you and does that thing where she, where like the finger like trails over your chest, and it's just like, but
Tanner, before you make her say words, I've got 2 words to put in her mouth, and those words are no balls.
She just whispers in your ear,
Yeah.
no balls.
Dang.
And she's like, no balls. I'm really attracted to risk takers.
Do it, no balls. You won't.
I mean,
You are both animal people, and she is pretty hot.
yeah, no, I get that.
She's a drunk hot cat girl.
It doesn't get more drunk and more attractive than this.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and, like, I assume pick up my second drink at this point. I'm like, well, I mean, there is the chance to make another 4 times. And then there's also the deck, so... Maybe I will stick it out.
Yeah, she's like, I'm not telling you to waste all your money or throw it away or go for the deck, but
I'll also point out that none of those things happen if you don't waste your money or throw it all away if you win.
No, that's true. Like, if I win,
I'm just
nothing
asking
but
you to
good
win.
things happen.
Yeah.
But if I lose, nothing but bad things happen. So, it's catch-22. No.
I already did say that I would reimburse your entry fee.
No, I forgot about that. That is true.
If you lose. I'm not reimbursing it on top of your winnings.
No, I wouldn't ask you to. That'd be just... In character, I would not ask you to. At all.
And you do know that Vera doesn't want to be a part of it at all.
Yeah, she did seem fairly resilient. Or resistant to it. I guess I am basically the last crew member left who actually had any real desire to partake.
But if the Star Witch wins, then there's another campaign.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
The Star Witch demands that the Great Old Ones rise and wreak horror terrors across the cosmos.
But you know what? No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go in. I'm going in to win.
Balls, PogChamp.
She smiled and is like, in that case, I think we need to do a few practice games.
All right.
And she looks at you and she's like, tell me, how many layers of clothing are you wearing?
Some?
A non-zero number.
Yeah, a non-zero number.
Immediately strip.
Yeah. And she grabs your hand and takes you to the captain's quarters, unless if you say no.
I'm going to say no to saying no.
Seems
Oh,
good.
okay.
Off
Balls,
we go.
PogChamp.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there we go. That
Balls
happens.
located.
Balls located. Yeah, and that's going to be some strip poker. You have not had enough poker for the night.
Clearly not. But I mean, I have had a bit of alcohol, so that kind of counteracts. Like I can only take so much, but alcohol negates what I've taken. So
yeah,
At
and
this
I mean,
point,
she
I'm good
brings
for
more
more.
alcohol. So I mean, the drinking doesn't stop.
I'm sure
He
it
is,
doesn't.
What you got? At this point, he brings his absolute A game. He has never been more focused on winning a hand of poker.
Yeah.
I want to say that all of the gambling so far has been a few hours of gambling, and that's a hell of a lot more hands than a single movie of 007. You know, a whole
Yeah.
movie for a single hand of poker.
Yeah. Damn.
All right, so let's see. Eric's getting laid tonight. Veritas is not necessarily getting laid tonight.
Out on the
Unless
town.
if he, I mean, he's out on the town. He could. I mean, that could be wrapped up in that 160 gold per person. Vera,
Yeah.
I assume, is getting laid tonight. Solaire is out in the town, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, not sure how much hookers. Mako's probably he likes hookers. We know this.
Hold on. I'm gonna duck out for just a quick sec while I
That's cool.
take this phone call.
Yeah, but he also likes Star Witches.
Which would bring us to Mako. Because he left.
All right.
Because you left a little bit before everyone else,
Yep.
and you didn't go back to the ship.
No, I knew better than that.
So where do you go?
A hotel.
Well,
The Star Witches.
there are hotels. No, you don't go to the Star Witch yet.
There are also Star Witches.
Well, I mean, he doesn't really know where the Star Witch is.
Do you
So
Hey, I don't know
Star
that.
Witch.
back
He
to your
just went
hotel?
Trying to hunt down the Star Witch. I have to wait until, in theory, she loses the game.
Or wins.
Or wins.
Yes,
Either
Star
or.
Witch, I would love to be on your campaign now.
Yeah.
Roll new character.
Mike leaves the party.
Mike leaves the party. Listen, she has this better campaign going on. It involves the deck of many things. Could you really blame me?
I don't think there's a man alive who could.
No. I'd find a local hotel. Or equivalent. I don't know. I'm on a weird planet.
Yeah, you easily find a hotel. I mean, everything's casinos and hotels or brothels combined. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of your type of place. If it was more Asian themed.
And not full of demons? Yeah, weird, right?
So you find a hotel just to crash for the night, and after you've been there for a couple hours, you get a knock at the door.
Now let's see. Who could that be? Ah, great. I'm gonna get murdered, aren't I? I will open said door.
Yeah. On the other side of the door is Vivana, the Star Witch. Hands crossed. Leaning forward only slightly.
Only slightly.
Yeah.
Oh, That is a lovely surprise to see you here today. Though I can already figure out how you found me.
It's not very hard to find the sole Kodami within the city.
Oh, that's true.
And she kind of looks, is like, are you not going to invite the lady in?
Oh, well, of
She
course.
says it in a snarky manner.
Of course, of course. Come on. Come on in. It's not the fanciest place. My normal residence is currently unavailable for the night.
I heard that you were fired.
I'm usually only fired for about a day. Then she'll remember Then she'll remember the part of the crew I fill, and then go, wait, I still need a navigator for the day.
She makes herself at home and sits down in one of the chairs. I'm going to be direct here and ask, why do you want the deck?
Well, let's see. There's riches, powers, theoretical ideas in there.
Which riches and power I could see from somebody else, but you're part of the crew of the Novus. They may care about some of that, but that's not why they sail. It's not why they adventure. It's got to be more important than that.
Oh, well, it comes down to everything, as we said at the table. As always, it's about changing fate.
And that's what I wanted to hear. Tell me, what type of fate are you trying to change? And she reaches into her bag and pulls out a deck of cards and starts shuffling it. You notice they're not normal playing cards.
Yes, yes.
Hero deck of many things, boys.
It is not the hero deck of many things. It is just a hero deck.
Just a hero deck.
Just a hero deck. I'll just say there is a fate tied around my life currently, and I don't want it to happen.
It's as they say, fate is like a noose, and right now it's tightening around his neck.
Yeah. There's a good line for
Looking
that.
through card. Because I don't know all the hero cards by memory.
I'm sorry, Tanner.
May I recommend Justice?
He does have he's using my actual hero deck with the guidebook that tells you their explanation, what they mean. Since when I played a hero, I actually bought one.
Yeah, it's great.
It was very odd at predicting the future, or knowing that I was in a castle.
It was really
Every
good
time
at
I was in a
predicting the
castle,
future.
it knew. Because I'd let me draw a card on what I should make a decision. I'd pull the castle card. I'm like, yes, thank you.
Yes,
I
we're
was
here.
positive I was here.
It was also incredibly good at predicting all of our characters.
That's what it's supposed to do, Jess. It knows your past, present, and future. Well, at least tells you a possible future. Being
Hey,
told
you
a
have to
future,
work to change that fate.
or force it to happen.
Lucina over here.
So she shuffles through the cards and pulls the first one out, and holds it up, showing the avalanche. It's like, how much do you know about fortune telling, harrowing?
Odd. Your form, not much. We have a different way of fortune telling where I come from.
Do you roll bones like a barbarian?
No.
Oh, that's good.
She looks at it. She holds the card up in front of her. It's like, the avalanche represents a disaster, possibly of natural origin, though not necessarily with all the strange magics that exist within the universe. It destroys all that gets in its path, almost unthinkably so. I believe that she holds it out and like turns it slightly, like almost it actually turns the card over, and you realize they're magical, and the face of the card starts to like animate, to the point where when she first showed it to you, it showed the avalanche destroying like a city beneath it. But when she turns it upside down, it's almost like they're rewinding and rolling back up the hill.
Oh, now you've got my attention. So, what is it that you know?
Only what the cards tell me.
Yeah.
You wish to stop something. Something you're connected to.
I wouldn't say connected. Possibly the source of.
Given that the rest of the cards I pulled while thinking about you spoke of the weather, and that it was actually quite warm until you arrived on your ship earlier today, I believe that has something to do with it as well.
See, most people just don't get that about me.
I literally can't feel the cold.
No. Though most have accepted as just a happenstance in planets we have, I don't think the crew ever notices.
They're probably used to it.
But you have a gist of what it is that happens around me.
She looks, it's like, we are both after the same thing then. The power to change fate. The future. Control.
I wouldn't say complete control. I was mostly looking for just to break the chains in general.
What if I told you I could help you with that?
And I would tell you that you would have my ear.
In that case, I just need your assistance in helping me win tomorrow.
I will admit, my powers aren't very predictable.
No, but there's something, and combination of mine could lead the path to victory very easily. And I'll have you know that the deck itself is not what I'm after. However, something much, much greater.
Ooh, mysterious.
You wish to have the deck to make your own wishes. And I offer you more than that.
Look at that. We got a beautiful lady with a mysterious goal. Almost like she understands me.
She smiles.
Just saying. It sounds like she's making a deal to get this deck, which sounds like the opposite of leaving it up to fate.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't leave things to fate. And welcome back, Pat.
It's odd for the Harrow deck person to want to cheat fate. Normally they seem...
Technically, she's controlling fate. It's still fate. She just controls it.
That's my point.
Yeah, I think it's less
reinterpreting
of. Yeah, I think
She was
she's less
simply
of cheated.
fated to.
She's trying to curry favor with fate by
She's
putting
fated to
everything
control
in
fate.
her
Come on,
fate.
Pat. It
in her
makes
favor.
perfect sense.
It's kind of like the destined sorcerer bloodline. Yeah, your mechanics say that you're doing these things, but really that's just the way they happen.
She was always fated to do this.
I have inside me blood of kings.
Gangs.
Kangs. Okay.
Who was Kangs? The
Nope. Well, I'll gladly accept at least attempting to helping you get the deck any way I can. So I will admit I'm not the most subtle about things.
As long as it's not considered me cheating, I don't care.
There we go.
I just need to not be thrown out.
Make sure it doesn't
they
come
can
back
try.
to me.
Got it. Frame Kevin for cheating.
And she laughs.
Damn.
Otherwise, if I lose, I'll have to go to drastic measures.
Oh, we hate drastic measures. Those get very messy. and unfortunately have a lot of problems that can happen.
Then I doubt I'll be wearing my stand in the audience. So if she's going to use drastic measures, make sure that it's single target.
Well, you guys know that the deck isn't here. It's on the actual flying casino that travels through the Starsea. This is just where they hold the tournament because they don't want to hold it in the same location as the deck.
They keep the lock from the key.
Effectively, the winner of the tournament is they're like, okay, you're going to sign this contract, and in 3 months' time, you will draw from the deck at this location,
Sounds
at this
good.
time. And so she's like, hey, I want to win the chance to draw the deck because I really don't want to have to do Plan B.
Because Plan B is assault the space station with her Space Harlock battleship.
Yeah, pretty much.
You could have just stopped at assault.
Asshole.
Does she have fucking Stardust assault mode? Is it Stardust v
Stardust
Stardust?
Dragon assault mode.
The casino does have assault mode, yes.
No.
Excellent.
Oh, God.
That's fucking great.
No. Please, no.
Okay.
Well, the casino has to defend itself from space pirates, so naturally.
Yeah.
So it has to own assault mode and a defense mode. Come on.
Assault mode's so ridiculous.
No, it's defense
Well, don't
mode.
attack
No.
the casino.
No, there's just Stardust Dragon and then Stardust Dragon assault mode.
Yeah.
Stardust Dragon
The
Assault
regular
Mode is a
one's just
monster.
Stardust Dragon. And then it has
Yeah, you
assault mode.
see, Plan B happens, and you've activated my trap card. Assault mode activate.
Yeah.
Literally triggered my trap card.
Stardust Dragon Assault Mode. Get wrecked.
Pretty much can't lose.
Uh,
I can sack myself to negate literally anything you do once a turn.
Ryan
I
had
think
2
that
of
lets
those
you
out
get
at me
of
at
this
once.
Yeah. Is that the thing that gets you out of the hole you're in? No. That doesn't happen. You're negated. Oh, you wanted to negate my negation? Well, that's impossible because I've already sent myself to the grave as part of the cost.
God, it was retarded.
Yes, it was.
And especially if you have more than one out.
Unless he uses his Stardust to negate his Stardust. Wait a minute.
Hang on, I have an
How did
image
you
for
get the
that.
Stardust in the first place?
and she reiterates that should you find that you're not welcome back on your ship, I do have a spare cabin in mind. Your magics would be very much appreciated as part of my crew.
I'll remember that offer. I'll at least finish the current job I'm on. I don't like to disappoint the people I'm with already.
Last time I checked, getting fired isn't always your choice.
Oh, at least she's taken care of me for a couple of years now and has watched my back. I at least owe her the service of at least giving me a chance to not be fired in the morning.
She kind of laughs and goes to stand up, and it's like, it's your loss.
I go, I expect that the offer will probably be there in a month once the job's done. I'll find a way to find you. Fate has a weird way of that.
And she smiles and turns to leave. And as she does so, like after she shuts the door, a card slips underneath the door, the space of the door, that bears her ship's insignia.
Neat. I will pocket that.
Pretty much showing that only people that know her have one of these.
I'll pocket that and keep that to myself. Find a way to sew that into shirt. No.
See,
Now that'd probably be my night as a whole, though.
yep. You guys all have conversations and do stuff and party and plot
worry.
and worry.
Worry about what?
Everything.
Fruits is gonna be her new dad. What's not to worry about?
Yeah. Don't worry. I'll write you
I
up
don't
a
need
really,
3
really
dads, 2
solid
of them
body
being
contract.
Estrellan.
I'll write you up a really solid daughter contract.
I'm good, thanks.
I removed your own contract of adoption.
But the contract will, if you look at it, it implies the most father-daughter fun time. You would be contractually
It doesn't imply.
obligated to be having
It
a great time.
promises. It
Yeah.
promises you will be the happiest daughter in the world.
Yeah, you'll be contractually obligated to have a great time.
No thanks.
It's
If you
foolproof.
don't, you're actually breaking contract, and
Yeah.
he has to report you.
Yeah, you would literally be illegal to not have a great time.
Sorry, Jess, I had to report you.
I was legally obligated to report you if you weren't having a great time right now.
The authorities informed me that you have to be having a good time. By the authorities, I mean Pat's pocketbook.
Yep.
The only authority I respect.
Yes. But yeah, that good stuff.
Yeah, so if no one else has anything else they want to do, the only thing left I have planned is the final round of the tournament. I know it's 9:45. I'm not entirely sure how long it'll take, but I do plan on making one slight change to the rules. And this is the house would explain this as well. Is that each hand, the buy-in increases by 1 to prevent the game from taking forever, since everyone's starting with such a ludicrous amount of chips.
So the buy-in is 2 instead of just the 1.
No, it
Well,
starts
and-
1, then 2, then 3, and so on.
Oh, okay.
So you can't just be like, I have 1 chip, I'll be fine. Every hand it goes up by 1.
Okay. So it continues to increase as the games go on.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
So if you guys want to do that now, we can, or we can put it off and do it some other time. Only I know it's almost 10, and you have to go to work early tomorrow because I'm not there. And
I'm gonna
RP
say let's
stuff.
try to power through that. Let's
Okay.
power through this.
Just like before, I will be attending and rooting naturally for the Star Witch.
So much faith in me.
Root
you.
for the house. I hope you all lose.
I will lend you my plus
That would
7
be
bluff
me.
item.
Say what now?
I will lend you my plus 7 bluff item. Unless you already have a magic item that adds the bluff.
I do not.
That isn't detected by their detect magic.
No, I have no magic items that.
So add 7 to your bluff.
Okay then.
But you're
If
very
you
good for
are
lying when you need to.
if you are wearing an amulet, you have to take yours off.
Well, I would take off all of my other magic gear going in, basically, because they would all pick up. So my bluff has a temp plus 7.
Take it, boy.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a bracelet. Never mind.
No, well, I don't have any of those to begin with. So, all right. So,
yeah.
damn.
Actually, Kevin, is there any other night this week that you'd be free to do the gambling thing? And I hate to not try to power through it tonight. But
I mean, I'm kind of free
She-
whenever, but
Okay.
I just figure
Just,
since it's a faster rule set, we might be able to get through it.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
I
but
keep,
you wouldn't be able to do it flavorfully. You'd have to
Yeah.
burn through it pretty quickly.
that's one of the reasons. I keep looking over at Jess. She's looking zoning out, and also I don't want to like rush it because it is the good round. Like the other rounds were to set up this round.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'd prefer not to just rush it.
And if you give me enough time, I can craft you a werewolf item, which might help.
You
It
have
won't,
no time
but
to
it might.
craft. You're out partying all night.
I'll
Werewolf
craft
item.
it while he's gambling.
I mean, that's fair. Like I'm playing cards and he's just tinkering away in the back corner.
Besides, before it all starts, my character actually probably would approach Eric and talk to him.
That's true. Well, if you guys want to do that now, that's fine. That way. when
Oh
we actually
shit!
do it-
Who has a high sleight of hand?
All of my roles are replaced by profession gambler.
Well, except for cheating, which is sleight of hand.
Yeah, I guess.
So, here's what you do. Shit. What about you, Solaire? How's your sleight of hand?
Please.
He's not in the game.
What reason
know.
would I ever have to have sleight of hand? I
I
don't
don't know.
have any ranks. My character's not that kind of guy. He doesn't
like
even hold any weapons. He has no reason to ever need to practice that skill.
Yeah, but you could do it even harder because you have no weapons. You could sleight of hand at distance.
One-way sleight of hand at a distance. My
Yeah,
God.
exactly. You'd
I've
actually
been
be.
such a
I
fool.
assume that would be some sort of circumstance bonus because you would be standing there while your invisible
Hmm.
force sleight of hands. The reason I bring this up is if we could reverse cheat. If we could have marble.
Make it look like Edgy
uh,
McEdgelord is cheating.
Yeah, if we could have like Marble Chef cook up a potion of like plus bluff or plus sleight of hand or something like that. When they bring drinks to the table, we could slip it into their drink and then call her out for having buffed herself.
Jacques.
Yeah,
Potion effects.
she detects herself. What the fuck? I never did that.
I never did any of this.
Yeah.
A likely story.
We
That's what we would
spike her
expect you to
drink with
say.
a buff.
Anyway, Eric,
Vera, what can I do for you?
I need your help.
Like sexually.
No.
Whoa.
No,
This is rare. What with? You're not in any sort of trouble, are you?
We all might be.
Oh,
I need
that's
your
fine.
help pressuring the Star Witch off the table.
Huh. All right. That seems to be
I don't need the money. I don't care about the game, but I also can't leave it until she's off the table.
fair enough.
Is
I've
it-
heard
is it
she has
fair
a
enough?
pretty nasty reputation. I've seen a few reports on her in my previous job, so I agree. I don't think we should really let her have access to something as powerful as the deck.
No. We really shouldn't.
So,
So,
I mean, yeah, I'll definitely assist in any way I can, though. Did you have something in particular in mind, since this is mostly like a one player? Like, do you have a method?
what are your skills?
I mean, I'm pretty good at reading people and giving them not necessarily the full or true story to earn their trust. So I'm good at that, though I'll admit I'm not even the best at reading people fully.
I don't know how well that'll work with someone like her.
Do you have a strategy for her then? A method or any insights you can share?
None that I really know. I didn't get a chance to watch her game as that table was over around the same time I was.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that I'll be working with you to get her off the table. After that, I'll fold. I don't care.
All right. I'm not going to argue with you on that. But are you sure that's
She's
what you
lying,
want?
Kevin.
Like, I mean, this is a very rare opportunity.
I don't need this kind of opportunity.
Suit yourself. I know you were vehemently against it to begin with, so I'm not going to question
I
why
wouldn't
you
even
changed your
be
mind.
going in now if it wasn't requested that I nay, demanded that I go in and pressure her off the table.
Huh. Well, yes, you can definitely count on my support. I'll do whatever I can. Albeit I don't know if my help will be enough. Like, again, she seems to have quite a sway.
It would still be nice knowing that someone else is trying to help.
No, absolutely. And again, you can count on my full support.
And I'd probably work on some sort of strategy with you, and I might talk to you about it sometime later as well.
Yeah,
trying to
I
work
would
on
say
something.
basically just have like a method or code, just to basically kind of like give an idea of each other's hands and strengths, so we can play off it.
Bluff checks to pass secret messages are pretty good.
Right. That's basically like, yeah. I'd be like, we can do the bluff checks to pass secret messages. And and that would be I think the most we could really do without drawing too much attention.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later too.
All right,
I'm not really thinking that clearly. I haven't been feeling well since I ate dinner.
rip Jess.
I need to just stop eating. I feel bad when I eat.
Yeah, you should just stop it. I mean, what good ever came from eating?
Nothing, apparently.
Nothing at all. All right, so I guess that wraps up today. The session.
As the Dragon
does.
Warrior, I sustain myself on the dew of a single ginkgo leaf and the energy of the universe.
That's fair.
Well, we can't all be dragon warriors.
Yeah.
All right, so killing the.
So
feed.
Tanner,